So you go from video, then you go into audio, but what's right after the audio, or actually the video as well? It's the text, yeah? So what you can do is you can, if you wanted to, you could get that transcribed at a few different places. You can go to visualdatainc.com, which will do massive transcriptions for you. Okay, if you need several transcriptions done, let's say you have a ton of content and you have, you know, 7 hours to 80 hours of content and you need to get it done, they could do it. You could also, as I mentioned though, go to Fiverr.com, go to elance.com, and transcribe your video to text as well there. Now, here's something else that's interesting. YouTube has its own transcribing machine. It has its own transcription machine. So inside YouTube, you can go in and you can have all the audio that is in your video into a time-stamped transcription sheet. Okay? Now, it sounds great. It sounds really great. But the issue that you find when doing that is that YouTube really can't necessarily translate your video audio to perfection. So sometimes you'll get absolutely ridiculous audio transcriptions, and which are actually very funny. And some people have actually made videos about like how silly and ridiculous their transcriptions are. But here's the cool thing is that they timestamp those already for you inside YouTube. So the cool aspect of that is that you, you can edit those inside their transcription machine. You can edit the content, edit the sentences. So if you know you're saying I love cheesecake and it says my baby loves hotcakes, you know you can change that out, but it's the same timestamp on that particular phrase. Okay, so that's something that I'll also do. I'll go in there and I'll just use their existing timestamp, but quickly just change out the text, or have my virtual assistant do that for me. All right? That way I don't have to pay someone to timestamp every single line of that video. I can have YouTube's timestamp, but still then just edit that into the right transcription. But what I'll do with that transcription, first off, I'll do that inside YouTube, because what happens is that's good for SEO, that they have that transcription aspect inside of YouTube. If you transcribe it, it's good for SEO, so transcribe it correctly there. But then take that same transcription or that same text that's in your video and turn it into a blog post. Okay? Take that text, put it into a blog post, and you're going to have to repurpose it, restructure it a little bit, because you may have some ands, you may have some ums, you may have all various things. But your transcriber, whoever's doing it for you, if you're going to someone to have them do it for you, they will take those out if you ask them. Say, you know, can we make this a little semi-professional, and can you take out all the ums and the ahs? And you can edit that up yourself a little bit as well. Oftentimes, what you could do is you can have someone on a team. Let's say, you know James Schramko, right? For those who do not know James Schramko, he is a content creator, and he has a process where he has a full team of people that will repurpose his content for him, right? So he'll have a transcriber. He'll have people that they'll strip out the audio, put it into a podcast, they'll strip out the transcription, put it into a blog format with that video of the video that he actually took. So if that's a live event, you know, you put that into a blog post, right? Because essentially, you know, doing a podcast and doing a live show are really not that much different if you think about it. It's content that you're creating, and Gene houses his content on his blog. Yes, he's sharing it to iTunes, but he's also housing it on his blog. So you housing your show from your blog is a perfect way to do exactly what Gene is doing with his podcast. But then if you think about it, iTunes and YouTube are very similar in the way that that is the network that it's on. Yeah? Does that make sense? So YouTube is the network that live event and that show is on, but you're also going to house it inside your blog as well. Just start thinking about that. Same kind of concept as what you do with a podcast. A podcast, you'd house it on a blog, right? You'd house it on a blog that's maybe specific to that podcast. Similarly to a show, you'd have a show that's called Leader in the Trenches. and it's my live event show that I'm doing every single week, right? It's on YouTube. I have a channel devoted to it, so I get subscribers there. I'm putting all my metadata in the video itself, but I'm also housing it inside my blog as well. So it's the same concept if you think about it. Okay, now article directories, you can also take that transcription and pass them through different article directories if you wanted to. You know, a lot of people don't use article directories as much anymore. I think it's just something that is not really used anymore. But there are article directories like Skidoo and Hub Pages and InfoBarrel and Zimbio still that are out there that are relatively decent sites where you can take that article and send it off to those sharing sites, and that's where some traffic is, and you can get just more people coming in. And in some of these sites, you can have links. Oftentimes, you're going to have link more in the sort of the about the author area, and you can drive people in that way. Also, if you have a presentation in your live event, if your live event was a presentation-based event, you could take that event and you could put that, upload it into SlideShare. SlideShare is great for, obviously, getting more traffic to your site. And this is a way of repurposing the video that was probably, if it was a presentation, has a PowerPoint associated to it or a keynote associated to it. And what you can do is you can take that and upload it to SlideShare. And SlideShare gets a lot of traffic. They get quite a bit of traffic. So you could take that PowerPoint, that keynote, and upload it there.